So 30,
What is it?
110, 24.
Oh,
It's so, I can't stop listening to that.
Welcome to the groove. The whole playlist is so good.
So you like say it's up to me, but it's up to both of us.
I would disagree with that statement. Do we want to unpack that?
No.
Okay.
Okay, we ready to start?
Yeah.
Oh man, conversation, you know?
Whoa. Okay. Pete Davidson reveals he was high on ketamine at Aretha Franklin's funeral. And he has a quote. "Yeah, I have to live with that. You know what I mean? She'll never know, but still that's not the point." Which might be the stupidest quote I've ever heard. And I also just...
Hey, don't talk about Pete that way.
I'm really confused. Was this like a center point of the special? Because like, why is this making news? Also, why was he invited to Aretha Franklin's funeral?
No, I had a lot of questions as well. So, Pete dropped a special yesterday. It's January 10th. I think it launched on the 9th on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And he kicks off his special pretty much just like off the bat, talking about his addiction to ketamine the last couple of years. And meanwhile, this is happening, and I'm texting David. I'm like, "Hey, David, what is ketamine?" Like, I have all these questions.
Which felt like a hate crime when you texted me that.
No, you're.
Globe's host
Look at that.
Joe Coy says his Taylor Swift joke was weird and a little flat. His quote was, "It was a weird joke, I guess, but it was more on the NFL. I was trying to make fun of the NFL using cutaways and how the Globes didn't have to do that. So it was more of a jab toward the NFL, but it just didn't come out that way." So basically Joe Coy made the joke that like the Golden Globes has to use less cuts of Taylor Swift than the NFL does.
Yeah, I went back and I watched his delivery of that. I also didn't really feel like it was a jab at Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably annoying for her that she's always the butt of all the jokes.
100%.
But it was more about, I agree, it was more about the NFL. But did you see the panning to her face?
Yeah.
She was not having it.
I do think it was like too easy
True.
of a joke. I will say though that like I love Taylor Swift, obviously.
Calvin Klein planned that perfectly. Jeremy planned it perfectly.
Yeah.
God bless the world.
Yeah. You're a huge Jeremy Allen White fan.
I am.
Yeah. I think it's like a little but his face, but
I feel like he's gaining a lot of traction.
definitely.
Like, Shameless obviously really jump-started his career. I feel like people started to really be like, who is Lip? Why am I so attracted to this man when he like has this such an interesting vibe? And then all of these other shows started coming out. The Bear hit, and now he is like he is like Mr. Hollywood now.
Someone on TikTok was saying, and I probably sound like such brain rot that every time I mention something, I'm like, I saw on Twitter, I saw on TikTok. Someone on TikTok was explaining how Jeremy Allen White is the perfect example of why.
No. Well, like, I know, but I don't know.
So Gypsy Rose is the girl who had Munchausen by proxy. So her mom basically like pretended that she was sick and would like make her take all these meds. Like, she was in a wheelchair for the beginning of her life, blah blah blah. To get like a bunch of sympathy, to get a free house. There's a show on Hulu that has Joey King. Anyway, so Gypsy Rose ended up like finding out that she wasn't actually sick, and her mom made her sick for the first couple of years of her life, and then she killed her mom.
Oh yes.
And then she was just released from prison, and I honestly said,
Getting hot.
Gate.
I have no idea.
This word spiked in lookups last week in anticipation of the incipient abdication of the
What?
incipient abdication of the Queen of Denmark. I don't know any
I don't know what any of those words mean.
What does this mean?
Were you speaking Dutch? Like, I literally... Okay, is she dead?
No. So,
Are we ousting her?
Europe's longest reigning monarch, Queen
Queen.
Margaret. Queen